Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host. And today's episode is yes, all timelines already exist within this universe. So before we dive in, I just want to give you a quick overview as to what this video is about. We're going to be addressing your soul's intention for you to get to the highest timeline possible in this incarnation, and how important it is for you to actually know that these timelines exist for you, that that highest timeline is waiting for you to take the steps, the healing, the growth to get yourself to that higher timeline, because that's what ascension is. That's what your soul is here for this time around. Okay, good. Now, before we dive in, hello, my gorgeous sisters. How are you? Ah, what an eclipse season. I'm still feeling that eclipse from October 2nd. It's surely putting me on a higher timeline. I can feel myself transforming. I can feel my body transforming. Like the purging has been intense. And, I've been needing a lot of time by myself, to myself, because that is actually the easiest way to transform. That is the easiest way to shed the old ways, patterns, tendencies, energies, and to let yourself gracefully transform to that higher timeline, right? Because when we're not surrounded by comfort zone, children, partners, life, we're not so easily pulled back into the old ways. So the more that you can make time for yourself, remember, it is always very supportive to this process of leveling to higher timelines. Good. Now, let me say this. This information is not really something that your brain or your ego are going to have so much fun with. Meaning, don't try to grasp it mentally so tightly. This is really information that you already know. I am speaking to your soul. I am speaking to you remembering all of this information for yourself. So come into your breath. I invite you to come into your breath. I invite you to come into your feminine energy and just relax into your breath. Relax into your breath. Let yourself be open. When you're in your feminine energy, you're open. Remember, just breathing and feeling and letting yourself receive so that you can be open to you remembering this information for yourself. And then it'll all make sense logically afterwards. But when we try to think it all into place, half of it is going to go right over your head. Okay? So come into the breath. Let go of the thoughts. Breathe into the belly, slow it down, the breath. Keep your eyes open. And from here, timelines. Well, so in the past, the timelines, which means the choices, the possibilities for us as we incarnated into a physical form were much denser, right? Much more limited. In the old paradigm, it was much of the survival of the fittest. It was all about victim mentality and suffering, because we had to clear karma and because we had to learn so many lessons through all of these incarnations. And oftentimes it was the suffering itself that cleared karma, right? So now that's not the case anymore. We're not in the old paradigm any longer. We are now here to be in this new earth paradigm. We are now here to understand that this lifetime, everything is different. This lifetime is nothing like any other lifetime before. You don't have to be afraid to speak your truth anymore. Oh, one of the things that I wanted to share with you about me transforming was that, and it's not that it's new, but there was old memory clearing of being afraid to be my light and having fear of showing my light for the fear of my life. Because I've been burnt at the stake and stoned to death and the tongue cut out and prosecuted lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, right? So it became a part of my soul memory to shrink and to hide my light. And so this has been a big part of this transformation with this eclipse, that, oh, wow, there was a whole nother level of me breaking through old energy of hiding, still hiding myself, hiding my light. And so that's the beautiful thing to remember. In this lifetime, whatever we had to do to survive in other lifetimes, it doesn't apply any longer. I mean, gosh, I'm sure that there is still a lot of that in certain countries, in certain places of this world, and that too will change. But if we are lucky enough to live in countries that are free for women, then yes, we are now here to let go of the old fears. We are here to let go of the ways in which we had to be quiet and hide and protect ourselves and not speak up, right? That's all changing, and we can see it already. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody is speaking all of these opinions very loudly, and that's all part of its balancing in. But my point being is that there's much to let go of in this lifetime, and to really reinforce to yourself that this is a new beginning. This is a brand new experience for your soul. You can really truly shed the fears, the suffering, the hiding, the victim, the scarcity. Keep shedding the fears, keep shedding and purging all of these old energies that aren't serving you any longer, that are not meant to be a part of this new paradigm. As a matter of fact, with these old energies, we cannot be in the new paradigm, right? So remember this, that we cannot stay in the old ways and patterns of the lower dimensional timelines and expect to magically all of a sudden be in a higher timeline. Not possible, right? It's work, it's a process. And I'm going to put a link down below for a video, a podcast episode that I made a few months ago, and it's how to manifest a higher timeline. Okay, that's going to be a really good one to watch after this one. So let's come back to the concept of that all of these timelines exist, because now your soul, for this incarnation, you have chosen to ascend. You have chosen, your soul actually has a one-track mind. All that your soul wants for you to do is to get to the highest timeline possible. That's all your soul wants. Literally, your soul is not interested in creating more karma, to stay in the victim, to still dabble in scarcity. Your soul has no interest in low vibrational fear, ego tendencies. None. Just know that. And so your soul wants you to ascend. Your soul wants you to get to those higher timelines and to become one within, become one with your soul again. Be the light, be the extension of source, be creator incarnate. And to learn to understand that, yes, it's all just energy. And all we need to learn is to work with these energies. And we are here to manipulate these energies just by being the highest vibration. And by being the highest vibration, the universe has no other option but to match the vibration that you are. And so that will get you to the highest and next highest and next highest timeline still. But let's come back to the concept of all of these timelines existing, right? Because this is the planet of free choice. And not every soul, as we know, right now is choosing to be a higher timeline. Many souls are still choosing to stay on these ego, fear-based, low vibing, disconnected from self timelines. And so that's okay. That's fine. But that doesn't mean that we copy that, right? And so even though those souls intended higher timelines, if the human gets overtaken by the ego and lives from a place of that lower vibrational disconnect, then the soul really can't do anything about it, right? It'll try to course correct. It'll try to get that, person to have that wake up call in so many different ways. Yes, absolutely. But it's still the planet of free choice, and every human has that choice to stay in disconnect and in illusion, right? Ego is illusion. External is all illusion. But generally, if you're watching this video, you are on the path. You are interested in your healing. You're interested in your growth. You know that you are light. You know that your ego is something that you have to master and learn to control. You know that fear is not the truth. You know that scarcity and victim mentality is not even who you are. It's just all part of the illusion of the lower vibrational timelines. And so here we are. All of these timelines exist simultaneously. And it's like, imagine it that you have a norm, you have a timeline. Norm is usually a range between 4, 5, 6 timelines. So on your good days, on your up days, you might be feeling more flowy and in sync and, in your light. And that's when you're on your higher timelines. And then if you're still back and forth a little bit, you might still have days where you're doubting a bit or, feeling, oh, I don't know, is this real? Can I trust it? Maybe still falling into some old tendencies, maybe still, getting caught up in some traps, right, of the ego illusion. And so those are, your lower timeline parts of your norm, of your range. And so it's normal for all of us to jump back and forth between the timelines within our range. Sometimes it can happen that somebody has a lot of stuff happening in their lives, and all of a sudden they fall just into this hole, and then they could drop out of their range and just drop a little bit lower, even beneath that lower part of the range. And it can also now happen because, remember, your soul wants you to ascend. Your soul has only that one goal in mind, for you to get to that higher timeline. And so it can also happen that you're really transforming and you're really growing and you're really doing your healing work and you're really focusing on yourself and your breath and staying in your feminine energy and saying no to the ego temptations. And so now you really are feeling better and better and lighter and lighter. And that's when you're moving now to higher timelines. It's very important to remember that in order to steady and secure as the new norm, the higher timeline, we're going to have to choose correctly, right? So we're being called into more consciousness, right? Because higher timeline means deeper connection with self, staying in the feminine energy. It's a greater level of light alignment, right? So the deeper we go, the more we heal, the more we will level up to the higher timeline. And so it's always a choice. It's the planet of free choice. And every moment is a choice. Do you remember your breath? Do you listen to your intuition? Do you stop yourself when you're overthinking? Do you still choose to eat crappy foods? Are you processing your emotions? Are you acting them out? These are all choices, moment to moment choices that will make a difference between getting to a higher timeline or staying on a lower timeline, right? And so it is our self, our higher self, our soul self, that is going to test us, that is going to bring forth into our lives the challenges that will make the difference, right? Because that's a choice. It's easy to feel good when everything is good. But it's really in the challenges. It's really in those moments of transformation. It's really in those moments of when we're facing a challenge that the rubber meets the road. And this is where you now get to stay conscious. This is where you get to stay in your feminine energy. This is where you get to stay in your patience with yourself. And where you get to say, okay, what am I needing to see? Am I still attaching? Am I pushing, forcing an outcome? Am I being impatient? Am I being hard on myself? Am I judging? Am I judging myself? Am I judging another? Am I still buying into scarcity? Am I still believing that this is just the way it is and I'll never have this? Right? So these moments of choosing response, how we, oops, sorry, let me turn that volume down. It's in these moments when we are choosing a response that's coming from our light, when we're choosing to take a pause, to be sure about what we're wanting to choose, how we want to choose, what we want to say. How am I going to respond to this? Right? It's these moments that are going to make the difference. Because even on the highest timeline, it doesn't mean there's not going to be any challenge. It doesn't mean there's not going to be opportunity for growth and healing. It doesn't mean everything is going to be rosy, but it does get easier. It does. It really does, because you're not in the illusion anymore, right? This reality of the lower, denser timelines is all, oh my gosh, this is my life and I can't believe this is happening to me, right? The drama. Versus when we're on the higher timelines, we are aware of who we really are. We are aware of that. Oh, yes, I'm an extension of source and I'm this light being and I am here to choose from my light, for my light, as the light, with the light, right? We're in a very different place, and that will, of course, feel much lighter. And there's joy for no reason, and there's strength and authenticity and empowerment to make strong choices, uncomfortable choices sometimes, right? Because when we're in this illusion space, it's very hard to make strong choices, versus when we're on the higher timelines, we've leveled up so much into our light that, yeah, I'm going to make this strong choice and I'm going to stick to it and I'm going to own it and I'm going to feel better for it. Right? And so, always remembering that these higher timelines are still going to be an experience of learning and growth. For as long as we are in these bodies, that will not change, but it's going to get easier in the way that as the light you see the illusion, as the light you notice your ego, as the light you recognize old energies of old patterns that are trying to pull at you and you're like, no, thank you. No, go away now. Let me shine some light into you. Right? And so it's definitely going to be a huge difference in experience of life quality, right? You're going to, embody health. You're going to embody abundance because that's who you are as the light. And so know that it's a path of healing and growth and choice, right? Now, I want to talk a little bit more about the awareness of the timelines. So just you alone, you to yourself, by yourself, saying to yourself that, okay, I'm ready. I want to do this. I want to get to the highest timeline in this lifetime. I am committing myself to my light. I am committing myself to being the best version, the lightest and brightest version of myself in this lifetime. And just you saying that to yourself, just you choosing that for yourself is actually going to open you to your soul, to your higher self, and everybody's going to be applauding your spirit team, your higher self, your soul, your guides. Everybody's going to be throwing a party for you because everybody heard it and everybody's going to hold you to it. Not that your soul didn't already think that that's where you're going, but it is the planet of free choice. And you on the human level have to make that choice for yourself, right? Your soul can try to get you to that higher timeline, but if you're just dragging your feet and screaming and kicking, not wanting to let go of the old ways, you're going to get to stay there because that's what you're choosing, right? So we have to embrace the change. We have to choose the change. We have to choose to be the change, to choose to go through the transformation, to choose to notice and let go. Let go of what you don't want anymore, what's not serving anymore. So you get anything and everything that you didn't even know was possible when things fall into place. And you can see the light orchestration working with you and for you because you're more in your light. And the more that you are in your light, the more you can see light at play. Versus in the denser ways of the old paradigm, you can't see the light, right? Hence the illusion. And so just you giving this commitment to yourself is gonna really speed up the process. It's really gonna get you into gear to have those challenges come into your way. So I can't sugarcoat it. I mean, that's what it's all about. But remember, if you can stay in your breath and if you can stay in your feminine energy and if you can stay in your light alignment, don't be scared of the challenges. Don't be scared of these tests that your higher self is bringing to you so that you can level up, right? So don't be scared of these tests. It's really about not buying into the fear, but really seeing it for what it is, an opportunity for you to choose from your light, an opportunity for you to trust your light, an opportunity for you to choose a conscious response, calm, centered, clear. and to be in your authority, and to choose for your self-love, and to choose for your self-respect. Not attached to any outcome. It's not about the outcome. It's about you staying in your light. It's about you staying in your authority. And when you do that, the challenges kind of just like fizzle out, because you're co-creating with the light now. And the more that you are staying your light, the more that you are co-creating as the light with the light, you will see it for yourself. I promise you, I kid you not. The challenges are just gonna like, unravel right there. Like it's just, because it doesn't match your frequency. It doesn't match your light vibration. So it can't stay there to torture you, because you're seeing it from a space of light fearlessness, of a space of, oh, I get to practice being my light. How am I going to respond to it? Fearlessly, from a place of acceptance, no judgment, no attachment, from a place of patience, from a place of compassion, compassion for myself, compassion for the other or the situation, right? Playing with the heart, staying open, practicing that heart staying open no matter what. Ooh, that's gonna level you up. That's gonna just woof, transport you so quickly. So very exciting times. And I encourage you to stay in your feminine energy, because that's when you will know, that's when you will feel and hear and sense your answers. And when in doubt, pause. Don't rush, don't push, don't force. And allow yourself to give your body time and space to up-level, to purge, to embody light. It's a lot of work on your body. I mean, my body has been so tired. I've been needing so much rest. I go to bed at 9 o'clock at night. I mean, yes, I was out for my birthday, but back to in bed by 9:30. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy to go to sleep. And I wake up and I feel good, so give yourself what you feel you need. Listen to yourself. Stay in your feminine energy as much and as best as you can, and as often as you can. And hopefully you will learn to really live from this place of inner connection, which is going to level you up to your highest timeline, to your greatest fulfillment, to your joy, to your sense of purpose in the fastest and easiest way. So don't fear the challenges. Just know it's just energy. And by you being in your light, poof, gone. Thank you so much for your time and energy here on this platform. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I'm sending love and light blessings to you and yours. Hugs and kisses. Ciao for now.